Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic is analysis of translation techniques. The presentation today will be divided into 4 parts. The first part is expressive text. The scope of this article is to convey the author, a famous Chinese essayist's philosophical reflection on the passing of time and promote cross-cultural understanding as well. This slide is the word-for-word translation of the article Rush. There are 5 techniques: equivalence, transposition, adaptation, amplification, and modulation covered into the target text. Next, let's move to the translation techniques. The first technique is modulation. The source text is days pass by from the basin, and then the target text is the sink washes away the day. The sink becomes an active agent, implying that it has the power to erase the passage of time, and the sentence becomes more smoother and point. The next technique is adaptation. The source text is in a world of thousands of doors and houses. Then I translate the sentence into in the world of hustle and bustle. It conveys a sense of business and the pressure of life, making it easier for the reader to grasp the meaning and better shows the emotion tone of the target language English. The last one is transposition. And I will go back naked, certainly, right? And the target text is soon I will live here naked too. It uses structural shift. The tone becomes more certain, giving a formal philosophical expression, showing a calm acceptance of the brevity and inevitability of life. Through removing the question words, the statement becomes more concise and natural. As for challenges, there are 3 challenges I have met. The first challenge is how can the metaphor of a drop of water on the tip of a needle be conveyed to readers while preserving the delicate feeling and the silent passage of time? I use metacat and transposition to solve this problem. When I put the sentence into the metacat, it gives me the answer like a drop of water on the tip of a needle into the ocean. My days jump into the screen of time, no sound and no shadow. Then I use transportation to translate the sentence into like a drop of water on the head of a pin, falling into the ocean. My days are disappearing into the screen of time, noiselessly and without a chance. Metacat has more matches because of a better integration of machine translanguage. And you can select different styles when translating. So when I translate the sentence, I choose the literature style. Unit shapes makes the sentence more fluid and better aligned with English expression patterns, while still conveying the image of time slipping away. The second challenge is how to translate the figurative phrase spirals shaped chains. I use Cambridge Dictionary to check the meaning, and then I use amplification to translate the sentence into when have I ever left a mark as tiny as hairspray. The Cambridge Dictionary gives the accurate translation of a word and provides examples and phrases showing how the word is used in different contexts, helping users understand its meaning in practical applications, and amplifies spiral-shaped chains to as tiny as a hairspray to describe the existence of people in the world is very small and insignificant, express the author's sadness of the passage of time. And the last one is how to translate the sentence, but my hands are getting empty. I use DeepL to translate the sentence and it gives me the answer. However, the capability of my hands is diminishing. Then I use adaptation. The target text finally becomes, but surely my time is diminishing. The DeepL can automatically adjust the translations based on the context, making sentence more in line with the context of the source text. And the Chinese phrase use hands as a metaphor for something being depleted or amplified. This adaptation replaces hand with time, ensuring that readers will understand the metaphor while preserving the essence of duplication and loss.
Now let's come to the second part, informative test. Our scope is fostering mutual learning and highlights the value of Chinese traditions and helping English-speaking audience connect with culture and emotional essence of the test. Here is our word-for-word translation, and here is the target test. Now I will introduce the three translation techniques that we use in our translation process. The first one is transposition. The source test is the hometown of Confucius. The target test is which is the birthplace of Confucius. We can see the category shift, especially unit shift, is used in this process. The phrase is transferred into clause. The justifications are clarifying the meaning of hometown and fitting the conventions of English syntax. The second one is modulation. The source test. Local schools and communities are subjects, and workshops are the objects. However, their position exchanges in the target test. Active voice was transformed into passive voice. The justifications are focus shift, and it is in line with nature English usage. It means information is more important than identity. The third one is equivalence. The source test is the first of 5 mountains. The target test is most reverbed of China's 5 great mountains. The justifications are culture sensitivity, emphasizing spiritual or cultural reference, and maintaining the original meaning. Here are 3 challenges that we met in our translation process. The first one is how to translate gentle as a prince. The solution is omission. Gentle as a prince is a title that does not have direct cultural equivalence to the target language audience. And it is just a subtitle. The focus remains on the main event. So the non-essential information can be omitted. The second challenge is how to add emotional depth into although the journey is difficult, it is worth it. The solution is amplification and equivalence. Worth it is replaced by proves to be rewarding, which emphasizes the positive outcome and payoff after enduring difficulty. Strenuous and rewarding evoke deeper feelings of persistence, which adds emotional depth to the sentence. By amplifying more specific details and equivalenting, it transforms a simple statement into a more descriptive and meaningful expression. The third challenge is how to translate Shandong has 186 items on the National Intangible Cultural Heritage List more accurately. English prefers passive voice, so the perspective changed. Recognized as a national intangible heritage sounds more nature and smoother in English. Modulation ensures the translation is not only linguistically accurate, but also culturally appropriate for the target audience.
Next part is appellative text. School purpose of appellative text is to inspire people to shape ideal personality and harmonious society. Techniques in this text include transposition, equivalence, and adaptation. First, transposition. In here, target text translates violates in details. It converts words into sentences. In this sentence, violates is equal to break the rules, so this techniques expression become more consistent with daily colloquialism. Secondly, equivalence. In source text, in a certain position emphasizes the specific position or state of a thing and has the meaning of stability or stillness. The word-for-word translation in a certain position is a direct translation, retaining the literal meaning, describing the spatial position of an object, but without explicitly reflecting the dynamic or static attributes. When converted to the target text, the translation of standing in its place uses the more specific and vivid expression standing, which reflects the static state of the position. At the same time, the wordplace is added to make it more natural in English, and the meaning is closer to the core of the Chinese expression. The phrase 思想纯真无邪 literally translates to thoughts pure and untainted, which carries a specific cultural connotation in Chinese, emphasizing moral integrity and purity of thought. The English phrase thinking nothing beings conveys a similar idea of avoiding low or immoral thoughts, but does so in a way that resonates with English-speaking audiences. This adaptation ensures that the essence of the original meaning is preserved while making it more accessible and understandable within the cultural context of English speakers. Well, in the process of translating, I faced three challenges. Challenge 1. How to express a sense of enlightenment when translating. I did not understand many things until I was 14. Challenge 2. How to translate. I can listen to everything more philosophically. Challenge 3. How to translate. Even dogs and horses can be raised by people. In the original Chinese text, I didn't understand it until I was 14, may contain a kind of later understanding feeling. Well, at 14, I was free of perplexities, focuses more on emotional enlightenment and liberation, adapting to the different tendencies of English in expressing time and psychological changes. The English expression is free of perplexities to replace simple understanding with a state of liberation, which is more in line with the English expression style. In source targets, 62% means being able to correctly trace opinions that are unfavorable to oneself. Give ear to is not just listening literally, it implies a more active action of accepting and understanding. This attention of details helps to make it clear that listening is not just superficial listening, but deep understanding or listening carefully. For challenge 3, I use modulation to solve. After adopting the active voice, the translation highlights the active role of we, that is, human beings, and emphasizes the human behavior of taking the initiative to care for and raise animals. This way of expression can make the sentence more powerful, especially in the relationship between humans and animals, and can more intuitively convey that humans take the initiative to take care of animals. We compared three techniques, which have different degrees of freedom. Adaptation has the highest degree of freedom, followed by modulation, and the lowest is transposition. In terms of applications, adaptation often appears in significant cultural differences, slang proverbs, advertisements, literary expressions. Modulation appears in linguistic scenarios with different semantic expression logics and different expression conventions. Modulation is used in situations where grammar, word class, or sentence structures are incompatible, focus on syntactic fluency and readability.
Now I will compare the three technologies that we used in our translation process from translation quality and features to perspectives. The first one is Google Translator. It is suitable for daily use but lacks professionalism and fluency. It supports text, voice, pictures, real-time conversation, and other functions. TPL Translator is fluent and good at context processing and nature expression. It provides style adjustment and format retention. MatCat depends on integrated machine translation in NG, but allows professional revision and management. It offers translation memory, terminology databases, and collaborative features. It is ideal for professional translation projects. That's all for our today's presentation. Thanks.